I'm Sam and I'm super excited. It's been 2 days since I put my first video out. It's about making foam bricks for modeling with D&D and minis. I suggest you go check that out if you want to learn a bit about that, and I do ramble on quite a bit about the channel and that. But I wanted to make a video. I just got out of the shower, all excited, decided to make a video to show how much I appreciate the support I've gotten so far. If you guys are digging it, then so am I. What I mean by that is let's dig some dinosaur bones. I was at the dollar store getting paints and supplies ready to make sure I was fully stocked for my next video where I build something with the bricks we made. That is coming, don't worry, it's in the design process. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, it's a secret, it's a surprise, and I don't wanna ruin it, but these excavation dinosaur kits are only $4, and these bricks of modeling clay are only $2. They're also gluten-free in case you eat some, though I don't suggest doing that. I just couldn't get this idea out of my head of building a skeletal structure of a dinosaur and then using this modeling clay to try and build the outer layers, whatever, skin, feathers, and scales, whatever it ends up being. Not sure if I'm gonna be able to cure the modeling clay and get it glazed or hardened or whatever it is, but I will try and paint it. This is also an activity that I'm sure is good for all ages, though I will be using a utility knife to cut thin layers off the brick of clay. And I think a good rule of thumb is if you're not in charge of your own bedtime, you shouldn't use one of these unsupervised, so please go get somebody to help you. But yeah, I think this is gonna be lots of fun, and this is just to show my thanks once again for the support I've had in the last couple days since my first video. So welcome to Rabbit Hole Hobbies episode 2, Cretaceous Park, or Jurassic Petting Zoo. We'll figure out the name later. Let's make some dinosaurs. All right, I just got a different bar mat than last time. This one's a little bit bigger and I'm not really sure what we're getting into here. So, oh, these are neat. Look at these tools. Like a real life archaeologist. All right, let's get digging. Nice. Woo. We got bone. So be careful. All right, so we got all our bones here. As you can see, this ended up being way messier than I thought it would be. So before we continue on, I'm gonna clean this mess up, clean myself up a bit, and clean all these bones off. I got everything cleaned up. My shirt's still a little dusty, but I don't know what other surprises we'll have in store for us with this, so I figured why get another shirt dirty. That was definitely lots of fun. I did not have the patience to use the tools they gave, so I did use a screwdriver. Let's put this guy together and see what we can come up with. There is still some gunk in some of the holes. I've got some toothpicks that I'm gonna use to try and get all that stuff out. Probably have to run this underwater again to get the rest of the little gunky stuff out, but we can get most of it out like this, I'm sure, and the rest should just rinse out fairly easily under some water. All right, let's build this dinosaur. Ah, look at that. One Velociraptor. It's time. This is our basic clay skin, I guess. I
I don't have very much experience with modeling clay, nor do I know what a dinosaur looks like in real life. So I'm gonna have to think about where I'm gonna go from here. My plan didn't really go past this. So I'm gonna take my dog for a walk, think about making dinner, ponder this for a bit, and then we'll come back, see what we can do to smooth it out, get some detail, make it look a little bit more realistic. But anyways, stay tuned. You can see here, if you can see it, there's two different pieces. So if you just run the paintbrush kind of over it, that seam kind of goes away. And then you smooth it out. Looks like one seamless piece. So I think my hands are making it warm because it's getting a little bit gooier. So I am gonna go sit it in the fridge for maybe 10 minutes, see what it looks like, and see if I can maybe smooth it out a little better so we can start getting some detail on it and get her painted. So the refrigerator thing works so well. It hardened the clay enough that I could smooth it out without really taking too much off. And then when I was redoing it, it was getting so warm again that I wanted to put it back in the fridge. So I ended up just going downstairs by the kitchen. So I was really close to the fridge, and it's been a couple hours since I put it in the fridge the first time when I just left. So I've been slowly adding more clay to wherever it looked like it needed it and smoothing it out, putting it in the fridge, carving a bit off, smoothing it out, making it look as good as I could. And this is what I've come up with so far. I shaped it out and kept cutting and smoothing, and then I used a toothpick to make the texture, just little lines like this to make it look kind of like feathers. And all the stuff that gets peeled off there, just take a paintbrush and you can get all that stuff off pretty easily. So I'm quite pleased with how it's turning out so far, though it is taking quite a bit longer than I thought. So I think I'm gonna leave it for the night and then we're gonna paint it. So I'll see you in the morning. What's up? Good morning, guys. I've been thinking about it all night, and I think instead of doing a primer on this clay thing, I'm just gonna spray paint it first to get a nice even base coat and stop maybe a lot of the acrylic from getting absorbed. I'm just gonna paint with some acrylics. I think I'm gonna try sticking with cool colors. I have my base coat done, and I kind of want to make it look a little bit more realistic, though I'm not really doing a very good job. But so I got my base coat down in the different colors I wanted, and then I'm taking the other colors. So on top of the green, I'm taking a bit of blue and purple. On top of the blue, a bit of green. And I'm just taking this brush and dry brushing. So I've mixed some colors in my wet palette, which is actually kind of dry right now. And you just want to get paint on it and then wipe off the majority, and then go to a spot and kind of dry brush it on so it picks up the highlights of the higher parts but leaves the lower parts the same color it already was. Then once you get that done, just let it dry, and then we're gonna give it a quick wash, and then we're done. All right, so it's time for the final step. We're gonna give this thing a wash. So I just have a little tiny bit of water with a very small drop of dish soap, and I'm gonna mix some paint in it. I'm gonna try some burnt sienna and a tiny bit of black because I want more of a, I think, a
a brownier color, but we'll see how it turns out. The whole point of a wash, you're diluting it so that it spreads really thin, and kind of the opposite of the highlights we did with the dry brushing that highlights the higher parts and leaves the lower parts the same color. This is the complete opposite. We're gonna get color into all the cracks and crevices, and the rest of it will, be a little bit darker, but will be the same color. So it'll give it more of a darker color, and all those little grooves will look a little bit more like shadowed, and it makes the details pop a little bit. And this is what we're gonna end up with. You can make it thicker or thinner by adding more water or more paint. I'm gonna try this consistency and see how it works out. If it goes on a little bit too thick, just keep brushing, and you see it darkens it up a little bit, makes the details pop. Now the last thing I'm gonna do is give her 2 little pupils. And we let that dry, and we're all done. There you have it, guys. Got our own pet dinosaur. This turned out way better than I thought it would, though clearly my skills in clay model making and painting need a bit of work. And if you have any tips or tricks of how I can do this better, please leave me a comment in the comment section. I had a blast doing it, however, and I hope you do too if you try it. If you try it, leave a comment. Send me a picture, let me know what you think of it. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. If this isn't the kind of hobby that's for you, check out my last video on building foam bricks for making models for Dungeons & Dragons or whatever you want. That might be your thing. You probably enjoy that one, so let me know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys again soon.